Well, as a Rhode Islander, I can say that I've been well served not only by Congressman Kennedy, but by his entire staff. And it's with great appreciation that I say that. I want to acknowledge a few people who are here as well. And I want to start, obviously, with Patrick's mother, who we've already been introduced to. But Mrs. Kennedy, thank you so much for being here. I don't know if your sister's here, Patrick. Is she? She was possibly coming, but I did see your aunt, the Ambassador, Jean Kennedy Smith. Very good to see you, Ambassador. Many of you may have seen the news that she will be receiving the Congressional, is it the Congressional Medal of Freedom? No, it's just the Medal of Freedom. The Presidential Medal of Freedom. An incredible honor. Not quite right. And her son, William Kennedy Smith, is with her. Thank you for being here as well. I know I'm going to miss some people, but I've seen Senator Sheldon Whitehouse from Rhode Island here. Thank you, Sheldon, for being here. Well, we've heard from Mr. Landon already. Senator Franken I saw back there. Both Senator Whitehouse and Senator Franken are emerging and doing their best, I think, to try to fill Patrick's shoes as congressional champions for addiction and mental health disorders, and doing a great job, by the way. Let's see, who else might be here? I see Tom Insel, the director of the National Institute of Mental Health, is here. Tom, thank you for being here. And with him, Dr. Nora Volkoff is here. And thank you very much for being here as well. So we have perhaps not saved the best for last, but we have saved a very special treat for you. And so it is my great pleasure now to introduce the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Nancy Pelosi.
Good evening, and thank you, Bill Emmett, for your leadership and for bringing us all together this evening so that we could sing the praises of Patrick Kennedy. And thank you for your leadership of the Campaign for Mental Health Reform. You have been a partner, an advocate, a leader for Congressman Kennedy's efforts on behalf of mental health. I had a couple of things I wanted to tell you about Patrick. I mean, I've spoken about him in Rhode Island on any number of occasions. I've spoken about him in San Francisco and other parts of California, in the Congress of the United States, and it is always with great joy because he is such an invigorating, youthful, important leader with such depth of knowledge and breadth of legislative experience. He is about the future. I'm so honored to be here with his mother, Joan Kennedy. Hi, Joan. How are you, Joan? And with Cara. Is Cara here? And also, I don't know if Ambassador...
Jean's here.
Where is she? Hi, Jean. How are you, Jean? It's important to note about Patrick, although he comes from this glorious tradition of the Kennedy family and their contribution to government and public service in every possible manifestation in our country, that Patrick was the youngest Kennedy ever to be elected to public office. He became, the youngest when he won election in Rhode Island's House of Representatives at the age of 21. He has won more elections than any Kennedy in history. he serves in the House of Representatives where his great-grandfather, Honey Fitz, and his uncle, President Kennedy, served. So he carried on that connection between the Kennedy family and the House of Representatives. 22 years in public service, including, well, in public office, a whole life in public service. 16 years in the Congress of the United States. Patrick has mastered the skills of legislating. And then, as all of you know, 2 years ago, Patrick pulled off one of the, working with all of you and Mr. Ramstad, Patrick in the lead. Senator, how are you? I didn't say Senator. Senator Whitehead, I just acknowledged. Sheldon, thank you. He pulled off all of you working together because, as you know, it's inside maneuvering, it's outside mobilization. He pulled off one of the legislative feats of the century in passing the Paul Wellstone Mental Health and Addiction Equity Act. Many of us had front row seats to see Patrick's leadership on this issue, both on the Appropriations Committee when he tried to get it done there, and then on the floor of the House. He powerfully made the case to the country and to the Congress that there was no shame in mental illness. The shame would have been not to pass the legislation had Congress not taken action. He taught us full well that in all of these issues that we had to judge, we had to respect people for what they did, not judge them for what they could not do, and with mental health as a barrier that was not fully understood as a barrier to many. You're welcome. Under his leadership, Congress has taken action to ensure that individuals with mental health illnesses and addictions, and he always makes that inclusion, are given the attention, the treatment, and the resources they need to lead healthy lives. With Patrick Kennedy in the lead, Congress did take that action. It was what the Washington Post noted with admiration, an act of political jiu-jitsu. That was a big compliment. Though Patrick is leaving the House, he isn't leaving public service. You know that. He'll begin a new chapter in his life as an advocate leading the One Mind for Brain Research Initiative. Congratulations to you on that, Patrick. By bringing together scientists, government officials, academia, philanthropy, and other patients, and bringing patients together and looking across the boundaries of neuroscience, Patrick will foster the next generation of breakthroughs, innovation, and cures. Indeed, he may do for brain research in this decade what President Kennedy did for space research in the 1960s. Another frontier. Patrick Kennedy will leave Congress having earned the respect of his colleagues on both sides of the aisle, on both sides of the Capitol, the admiration of his constituents, and having made a difference in the lives of the American people. Yes. And he's still only in his early 40s. For Patrick, his time here will only be the beginning of a glorious, very successful career in public service. Congratulations, Patrick Kennedy. Thank you, Congressman. And thank all of you for helping Patrick be so successful. We all know we can only do so much inside. Without your intellectual resources, your outside mobilization, nothing great is possible. And you and Patrick Kennedy have made great things possible. We're all in your debt. Thank you all very much.